Hey friends, good morning. Lisa Ziegler coming to you here from my southeastern cut flower farm. And I've got some pretty interesting, for me, cover crop experiments. And they're things that I've just never done here on the farm really before. So I thought they're in such kind of a great state of growth right now that I wanted to share them with you. So what we're looking at dead ahead here is called sun hemp. Sun hemp, that is spelled S-U-N-N, hemp, H-E-M-P. And this is not the hemp that folks are growing for oil and other such things. This is actually a warm season tender legume. And as you can see, this stuff is like 10 feet tall and still growing. And so I have grown it in the past, but we've never had it stay up this long, meaning a storm would normally come along and just smash it to the ground. So this area that we're looking at here is about 100, not 100, probably I think it's 90 feet long, and it's about 30 feet wide, and it has been growing here since midsummer. So this stuff will add an enormous amount of organic matter to my soil, as well as, because it's a legume, right? It is will add nitrogen to the soil, and I'm not quite sure what we're going to do, but I believe what's going to happen. This is obviously a crop you would never grow without having potential equipment to extinguish or terminate it, right? It will winter kill, but what my plan is that we are going to mow this really high, like 12 or 18 inches, to kind of just make mulch out of the top part and just let it drop. And we're just going to leave this for the winter. And then we're going to figure out what to do with this next spring. I think perhaps our corn might actually get planted here. So this is a really great one if you have equipment and space. I will tell you that the wildlife, like deer and then the pets, dogs, love, you can see the tunnels where Tucker just loves going in there and running around. And it's just starting. Let's see, the sun is not the best here this morning. Let's see if I'm going to crawl in here, y'all. And I want to show you this bloom. See if I can grab it. Ooh, okay, I got it. Oh, I thought I had it. Wait a minute. All right, here we go. Look at this flower. Oh, somebody else is interfering here. Look at this flower. It almost looks like an orchid stem. It grows really tall and gets these really beautiful yellow flowers. And I will tell you guys that I was desperate enough the last 2 weeks as we were looking for fillers, and I experimented. This stuff holds up in a vase, especially when that central stem kind of branches at the top. And so I'm not saying grow it for a cut flower, because there's certainly easier things to grow. But I'm saying if you do grow it, it does have its benefits beyond just being a cover crop. But here's what I really wanted to show you. So I've done a couple things this year. You know, we grow a lot of crimson clover and buckwheat are our go-to cover crops here on the farm. And I also grow winter cereal rye. And so I really wanted to have a good stand going into winter this year. So I actually mixed buckwheat, which is a quick growing warm season cover crop because we're still having really warm days. I mixed that with the winter rye. And you can see that the winter rye is this spindly stuff. Tucker, you're really making a shadow, buddy. Makes this really spindly stuff. But the buckwheat, you can see there's much better cover down there, creates more of a canopy that helps for weed suppression, and I'm going to show you a better example. This was just planted about 2 weeks ago, and so what will happen is this buckwheat will get winter killed quickly the first night that goes below 50. And the winter rye will just grow up into creating a great cover and go through winter, protecting the soil, and then it'll take off come spring, and it grows to about 6 or 7 feet tall by midsummer, and then we'll terminate that. But look over here. This is a really great example of a really good experiment. 2 experiments actually. Yes, those are sunflowers. We have planted them along the edge of this cover crop because we needed a place to put them. And as Jenny Love of Love and Fresh Flowers helped me to see that when she planted sunflowers amongst cover crop, the bunnies left the sunflowers alone. So we're doing it, y'all, and they're looking absolutely beautiful. But the real experiment here is I mixed buckwheat and crimson clover. And look at the great cover we've got going on here. So the buckwheat sprouted the quickest, and that's the majority of what you see here, but there's an understory of the beautiful crimson clover. So the hope is, and it may or may not work out this way, the hope is that a cold night will come and snap the buckwheat before it starts blooming and sets seed. We don't want that to happen, but I've kind of created a situation where I can't terminate the buckwheat because the clover's under it. So we're just going to go with it for now and figure this out, right? So the cold will terminate the buckwheat and it'll just stay there. The clover's going to grow up into a beautiful canopy, and we will harvest these sunflowers, and this will be a great place in the spring to follow this crop, because you know crimson clover is a legume just like that sun hemp is. So they add nitrogen to the soil, and in the combination with this buckwheat, y'all, I'm just really standing here falling in love with this, y'all. And I'll tell you the real honest truth, I love green more than I love flowers. I mean, I just love seeing a lush green garden. The health, I mean, your cover crop performance is really a reflection of your garden soil too, right? So I just wanted to come on and kind of say, look at this awesome cover crop. And you know, I share in my book Vegetables Love Flowers that even home gardeners that don't have equipment or big spaces can definitely embrace buckwheat and crimson clover in their respective season, because both of them are easily turned under with a shovel if you do it at the proper timing, and we talk about that in the book. So friends, this is our last limping garden here. In addition to, there's a few things still going over there. That's where our cool flower garden will go. That'll all be, that's what's happening. I just spent some time with my alumni students, sharing them my cool flower strategy for this year based on the weather, and just can't wait to take out the rest of the flowers. Let's just walk down here. Bring your ball, buddy, and I will show you guys. You may or may not have caught us on Facebook Live, which I do every Friday from the farm at 6 p.m. And one of the things we did this summer was we took cuttings and made rooted some cuttings of these salvias we're about to see. And now look at them. This is Salvia leucanthia is the purple, and Salvia mexicana is the green. And I can't even tell you how many bumblebees are out here. You'll soon see them getting stirred. Oh my gosh, Tucker just cut through the middle, right? So I will tell you that these are not, I mean, there's really a swarm of bees out here, y'all. The honeybees, our neighbor has 19 hives, and there's tons of bumblebees, which of course are the natives. So these are what I call half-hardy perennials. That means that they will perennialize and live year to year if they can survive your winters. And for us here in southeastern Virginia, I'm in zone, used to be 7B, now I'm 8A. It varies from year to year. Most years they'll winter over, but some years they don't. So that leads us to keep a mother plant of each one of these in a big pot that I can drag into my garage during the coldest part of winter to protect it. And so that way we can take cuttings if we lose our outdoor plants. This little stretch of about, shucks, I'll say it's 25 feet. I mean, we took all of these cuttings off of one plant, right? And so this is a super late summer bloomer for pollinators, but y'all, amazing cut flowers. Let's just walk down here a little bit more. We cut the green when it's, let me use this, I don't want to shadow it, when it's at this stage. This green one will get a little purple flower bud that'll pop out of the center. You don't want that to happen. That quickly falls off and dries up and leads your customers to believe that it might be rodent poop. So this is the stage you want to cut these in, and they're absolutely beautiful in mixed bouquets. The purple, we also allow it to really mature before we cut it. That means it doesn't have quite as strong a fragrance, as well as it holds up really well. And y'all, there are so many bees over here. So many bees. So these may or may not survive winter, but we're always prepared with our mother plant. I actually have a hedge of this going down my fence that borders the road. Look at these guys. And can't highly recommend it enough. You cannot start it from seed. It needs to start from cuttings. And if you don't have any, I would recommend your local Master Gardener plant sale. They often have them. I know you can buy them online. You just need to buy one or two because you can make as many babies as you want so easily and quickly, folks. Really, it's that true. It's really that simple. All right, friends, there's Tucker out there in the native border hunting for a ball or a bunny or something. He's just, I don't know if y'all can see him through the vegetation. That dog is nuts. Anyway, friends, I'm off to take care of cooking business and off to church. So till I meet you again, friends. Ciao.